Hi everyone, it's Peg, and I'm here to share bits and pieces of my artistic life. Today I am doing the Pick a Stick challenge for March. And the first part of the challenge, step 1, says emboss something. So I get out my Designs by Wren bubble stamp, and I stamp that in some gold embossing powder. This is a gold that has a glitter included in it, so it has some sparkle to it. I thought, you know, sometimes the glint off of the water has that little bit of sparkle, so that's what I was going for. And then it says make a focal image using a bunch of smaller images. So you can see I am stamping out a bunch of smaller images, and I'm going to colorize those. The step 4 says spatter ink and paint. And what better to do that with is those color burst powders. They're from Ken Oliver, and they are a powdery form, and then you hit them with the water and they burst all over the page. So I'm going to apply some of that to my seaweed, and I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to apply them to my page. So I tend to be a multitasker. I'm thinking about what I need to do for this page, and step 3 says use a brayer. Well, I'm going to use a brayer just to make sure that this stuff adheres down to the surface. This is one way of doing it without getting your hands all sticky, gooey. And I also do not want to disturb the coloration that I'm putting on the paper, because this is watercolor. And so I'm going to use a brayer and some matte medium and go over the top of those images once that I do the fussy cutting and putting them all together for my focal point and gluing them down on the page. So yeah, I'm not really skipping any steps here. It's just I work in combination because I have my tools out and I'm using a multitude of them at the same time, not just one step. So you can see how all of these tools and techniques and things play off of one another. Step 6 says use paint or ink and then close the book. Well, I didn't like step 6. Not after I've gone to this much trouble creating something. I'm not going to squish it underneath a bunch of ink and paint. So the wild card for this month says use sparkles. And yes, I am going to pick the wild card rather than step 6. So here I am just clipping things out, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of that. But I don't know where I don't know where I came up with this step from. I thought someplace it said something about shrink plastic. Well, okay. I went ahead and made some shrink plastic things and glued them on the page, but it wasn't one of the steps. I added a step, folks. Yay. Yay for me. And so anyway, I will talk more about these little creatures. These are images that you can get and print out on your shrink plastic. Just run it through your printer. And I think they're from Darcy's. And they also have these little button things. So you can put these buttons that are the face of these images onto the shrink plastic and create these cute little creatures. And these can become pins or tags or, you know, all kinds of fun things that you can make, especially with kids. You know, they're going to enjoy these cute little images. But for some reason, I had made these and I thought it was for this, and I guess that wasn't it, but that's okay. So you can see I used more of the splattered powders in my background. And it says write random words in at least 3 places, and I do that just in small areas around my focal image, which is the seaweed down there at the bottom. And then it says add a crossword. Well, I know we have crosswords in the house, but I wasn't gonna do that. So step 7 says add hand or machine stitching, and I chose, because I don't really sew, I chose this stitched border and attached it around the edge. And I auditioned a few different things, didn't really like it, and so then rather than cutting up a crossword puzzle, I created my own words for my page and kind of made a title for my page, and it has to do with no one likes shady beaches. Well, what was I thinking? I was thinking about spring break, and you know, people tend to go to the beach and all kinds of things, and some of my friends are going on vacation right now, and so yeah, I guess that's where my frame of mind was, and where this page was taking me. And the last thing after the crossword is to add 2 stencils. Well, my page was pretty much done, so I thought, well, I'll just use some small images. I have this stencil from Emerald Creek. It's new to me, and I thought, well, I'll use that. It has some small little images and then just kind of drippy drop stuff. So I'll put a few of those onto the background, and then I also have this heart stencil from Diane Reevely, and I thought, okay, I can put a few hearts on there. I always have room for love. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. Our picture's coming up at the end. If you haven't joined us over on the Facebook challenge, be sure and look at the description box below and come join us. We have monthly challenges with both ATC's artist trading cards and a journal page challenge. So that's it for March. Thanks for watching. Be sure and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this content. Bye for now.